Muskegon Channel. It's Andy O'Reilly, and today I am over here with my buddy Jerry Maxwell, and we are in his crafting room in Muskegon Heights. We are over here today because I'm a fan of this guy right here. I stumbled upon Jerry. At first, I got to know Jerry down at Hamburger Mikey. That's where you work.
Yeah.
Hamburger Mikey. It's what are they? About a year old now?
A year and 4 months.
Have you been there since day one?
I was there prior to day one.
Really?
Yeah, I even helped with some of the construction.
How'd you stumble on that job?
Tim Taylor, the owner, him and I did a movie together here in Muskegon.
Yeah.
And so I got to know him there. Then I was downtown walking around doing playing Pokemon Go. And I saw him with all this construction stuff, and I flagged him down. And he told me he was building the restaurant, and I was like, hey, I used to cook. You know, do you need somebody?
And just like that.
And he was like, yeah. So he hired me while he was sitting at the red light.
Good. That's good enough. Hamburger Mikey won the Celebration Cinema big award last year, Celebrated Service Award. Great place, great hamburgers and all that kind of stuff. But there is another element to this guy that I want to introduce you to because it is really remarkable. I'm surfing around on the computer a month or so ago, and I stumbled on this page, Adventures with Jerry, and I'm like, I know him, and I see him at Hamburger Mikey's, and I sat and I watched riveted for the entire time because there is an element of you on your videos that is nothing but happiness. And your story, I mean, you used to do concrete, I understand.
Right.
And you had an accident, and you got a disability thing going on and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of put you out of work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do concrete work anymore. I can't even mow the lawn.
Right.
Because the vibration from the lawnmower makes my hand sit there and do this.
Right.
And
so where you could have just thrown in the towel and said, I'm out, I'm done. You've kind of adapted, you found a new purpose in what you do with some of these adventures that you share on your YouTube channel and what you build and you create. Tell me, first of all, tell me about your adventures and how they got started and all that kind of stuff.
Well, how they got started was, I was sitting here in my basement for 9 years, sitting here playing video games, getting heavier and
don't we all?
Bad health. And I found out I had congestive heart failure.
Yeah.
And so I was having to change my diet, and I needed to get out and start exercising.
Yeah.
So I started doing some walks, and then I was like, oh, I'll film my walk with my phone. You know, and so I started filming a walk like they do on the big hikes and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so I started doing filming the adventures, and I was trying to come up with something big that I could do.
Yeah.
So I started planning and all this stuff, and I was walking 10 miles a day, and I attempted to walk around Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, I got down to Holland and I tore up my ankle, and that ended that walk.
Well, but that's still, it's a good start. But you've continued to show your story on this Adventures with Jerry video since then.
Right. I went the following year after that. I was going to kayak the Muskegon River from Houghton Dam all the way to Muskegon Lake, and I ran out of money. I did a practice run from is it Cotton Dam, or I think that's how it's pronounced.
Okay.
From there on down to the lake.
Did you?
Yeah, so I did do part of the trip.
Yeah. So the big adventures, around the lake, down the river, all that kind of stuff, have kind of brought you into your shop here, which is where I picked up on it. You're working on a set with a 3D printer, and you're making all these things for some of the stuff that you're really passionate about. You're fun, adventure type things. You're like a Dungeons and Dragons fan,
right?
I'm guessing, and that's where you're building all this medieval set and all this kind of stuff.
Right. And how I got into doing that was I was doing the videos. Well, I wanted to learn to better my videos.
Yeah.
Better quality.
Yep.
So I started learning photography.
Yep.
I figured photography, I'll learn, good lighting and all this stuff, and that would help with the videos. Well, doing the photography, everybody's got to have, like, their niche.
Yep.
And I was doing wildlife photography, and then the Griffin's Rest opened up.
Right downtown by Hamburger Mikey.
Yeah.
Yep.
They opened up, and I mean, I've always loved Dungeons and Dragons. I started playing back when it was called Chainmail.
Sure.
Back in the 70s.
That's a long time ago.
And so, I mean, I've played it my whole life, but I didn't know anybody around here that played. And so, when they opened up, I was like, oh, this is great. You know, and they have bare walls inside their store. They had no pictures or anything. I was like, well, maybe I should do some pictures of the game stuff.
Yeah.
And so I started looking around, and they had different brands that made, you know, the different blocks. They made blocks like this.
Yep.
Where you have your tiles and you have a partial wall that your character would sit on the one square. And each square was 5 feet.
Yep.
So I figured, well, I'll do this kind of stuff and do pictures of it and sell them in the store.
Yeah.
You know, make a little money off it too.
So, but all these little things that you have here, you've made.
Not these.
Okay.
The characters I make come out all weird looking. They come out all weird looking.
Yeah, but still, you're making these, and you're doing this out of love of art. You're doing these out of love of what you do, and you're doing these because you just decided one day that I can do better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it comes through in the videos that you do. I mean, I sat mesmerized and watched you work with your 3D printer on some beer mugs and some little tables, and you're building up all this scene for your thing, and they're remarkable. I mean, look at the side.
Nobody realizes how small the beer mug is.
If you can see, it's on the tip of his finger right there.
It's a third of the size of an eraser.
So for a guy that's been through the injuries and you're working at a small little local hamburger place and all that other kind of stuff, the crux of this story and what I've really appreciated about getting to know you is that, you know, they're not the most glamorous jobs in the world. They're not the most exciting things in the world, but your happiness comes from inside. And it comes shining through when I watch you on YouTube with what you're up to. And to me, that is remarkably inspirational. And, I mean, you know, people have jobs where they're in front of crowds and they're, you know, the head of this corporation or that corporation, all that kind of stuff, and they're just miserable.
Yeah.
And you know, you've got a pretty humble life. You've got a pretty... And there's nothing wrong with that. It's good. It's a good thing. But you just say, I can do better and I can be better, and you do it and you share it and you bring to the world what everybody seems to be missing, and that's inner peace and happiness. Do you feel that way day to day?
Well, on most days.
Well, I mean, everybody's got a bad day. I
still have 3 days a week I have to work a regular job, but
well, all artists, you know, tell me about it. I've had 3 jobs ever since I was 19 years old, but everything that you do just inspires me to sit and watch a little bit more and watch how you just weave this joy into everything that you do.
See, that excites me because I had, back when I was working on doing the walk around the lake, I had a kid from Austria email me, and he told me his situation. He was in, you know, bad situation.
Yep.
He actually was thinking about killing himself.
Yep.
And he started watching my videos, and that inspired him to do something.
Yeah.
And so he decided to go on a backpacking trip around Europe.
Yeah. Nice walk.
And
I mean, you got the Alps there. You got all those other things.
Well, yeah, a lot easier there because it's all right there. And
so,
it's like...
for the humble place, I mean, we're at your house in Muskegon Heights, and we're all of us in Muskegon. Kind of get, you know, people look down their nose a little bit. You're reaching out across the world and making a difference. Did you ever stop and think you'd be doing that?
No.
No. You're just kind of a haphazard. That's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've always been really outgoing.
Yeah.
You know, besides the movie I did with Tim, Ruined Me, I've done 4 other movies.
Yeah.
And I was on 1 TV show. So I get out there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, oh, they're filming a movie in town. I'm going to go be in it.
Yeah. Speaking of getting out there, I've kind of, and we talked to a few other people, and if it's all right with you, when your videos start coming out now, we want to pick them up and we want to carry them on the Muskegon Channel. Because not only do I appreciate your approach and your outlook on life, I think your message is one of importance. And I think that And, you know, we're not going to force anything on you. We're not going to make you change. We're just going to let Jerry be Jerry. But when you issue a new video, I want to grab that and I want to put it on the Muskegon Channel, because I think for those unassuming heroes out there, I think you're one of them. And I would be honored to have you be a part of what we do on the Muskegon Channel and take that message and share it. Would you?
Oh, I'd be excited to be on the Muskegon Channel.
You're on?
It's, part of my community.
Yeah. I think we all feel that way.
I may live in the Heights.
No, I live in the Heights. I mean, dude, I'm a block away from you. I live across Seaway Drive, and it's all of us. It's there's this neighborhood thing. So what? What neighborhood you live in? It's all Muskegon. Yeah. It's all of us. It really is. And I believe that.
Yeah, I love Muskegon.
Yeah.
And I bought a house here.
Yeah. That's what we.
I came out here 12 years ago on vacation.
Yeah, and here you are.
I never went back. From California.
Did you? And here you are.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And everybody thinks it's so great out there. 113 degrees in the shade's not great.
No, especially when you're on the plus size like you and me, right? So there it is. Yeah. This is Jerry Maxwell. He is down at Hamburger Mikey 3 days a week, and you can see him down there for a great hamburger, one of the best in town, to be honest with you. And you're going to start seeing him pop up on the Muskegon Channel, because what he does and how he does it is really remarkable. So Jerry, welcome, and thank you for agreeing to come on and share your story a little bit. Keep tuned in here to the Muskegon Channel, and you're going to see some really great things coming out of Jerry, and you're going to be able to follow his work and his art especially. Because is that what you want to do in the long term? Be an artist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to just travel and do my photography.
Yeah. And we want to help get you there, man. We want to see. I like to bring out the best in everybody, and if I can add a few viewers to your YouTube channel through the Muskegon Channel, that's what we want to do. So keep up the great work, man. You're one of those heroes that just pop up out of nowhere, and we want to give you a little bit more exposure and show people off. So we'll put the videos here. This is your introduction to Jerry Maxwell and Adventures with Jerry. Look for him on the Muskegon Channel coming soon. Jerry, thanks, man.
Thanks for having me.